y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Squad. We are recording from my car.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, life happens, things happen, but we still gonna get this out. So, how are you?
I'm good, man. Finna take a weekend off from a lot of stuff. Enjoy my time. Spend time with my baby. Gotta spend some time, man. We ain't had a weekend in a long time.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So, intentionally called off to make sure I had some time. So, chilling.
I'm tired. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning.
I'm tired, period. No matter what time I wake up.
That might be a parasite.
I don't think it's no parasite. I think it's other reasons, like depression.
That might be a parasite too.
It might be. I ain't no telling.
When I tell you I'm learning so much about the gut and parasites and all that, oh child. Everything got something to do with the gut. Which is something that I want to talk about. Just what was revealed to me is understanding like our food and stuff, and how, of course, as we know, God creates, the enemy manipulates. And so the enemy has taken our food, what was supposed to nurture us, and has made it poison.
Mm-hmm.
And it's made poison as a means to destroy us and stop us from doing what God intended us to do, which is do what needs to be done to rule over the enemy. And if you think about it, like, think about the beginning, and think about how God has already had the food created. He already had all this stuff created, and he said, let the leaves be for medicine and let the fruit be for meat. And then we got away from that, and we got away from understanding how to take care of ourselves, because now a lot of us all we know is to depend on doctors and on this crappy healthcare system that we have.
Yeah.
And now we don't know how to take care of ourselves.
I mean, it's something that we're learning. I think our generation is really starting to relearn what actual nutrition is and what's good for our bodies and what isn't. Because for the longest time, I mean, depending on your situation, you just ate what was available.
That's true. That's very true. But then, I mean, I think that's also part of it. It's part of the trick to make you believe that these things that are supposed to be for us are really just privilege.
What you mean?
The belief that health and wellness is privilege. It's a privilege to have health and wellness. It's a privilege to be able to take care of yourselves.
Mm-hmm. Because the thing about it is, if you don't have certain resources, you have to try a little bit harder to do certain things, and that's why people will assume it's a privilege.
Right.
But I mean, I think that's... would you consider that mindset more than circumstance?
I would. But even that mindset, the circumstance itself is a tool of the enemy, but also the mindset. We all know how the enemy tries to play on our minds. So even having that mindset and also putting certain things in our view to perpetuate that mindset.
Nah, you said it right the first time. Beyond it, perpetrate. Because he out here faking everything.
Yeah.
I'm finna act like this good for you, and you gonna slide over here. Or I'm make it cheap enough where you can afford it.
Yeah, cause like as I'm learning, like God like really created our bodies a certain way with certain systems in play. Like when you think about how our bodies are created, you can't doubt God when you think about how our bodies are created. Our bodies are created to work, like our systems are created to work in tandem to provide the most optimal functioning for us.
Mm-hmm.
And then he also created plants to nourish that, to make sure we stay functioning. And it's like how you revealed it to me was what we are facing, particularly in the U.S. Because other places, they more on board with the natural wellness and holistic wellness and stuff like that. But what we're facing, particularly in the U.S., I'm gonna be real honest. The U.S. looking real Babylonian-ish.
Well, the U.S. been looking Babylonian.
Yes, but like, or it's looking like Israel being ruled by Babylonian-ish.
Yeah.
And it's like you've gotten away from who you supposed to be. We've gotten away from how we're supposed to operate. And we've gotten away from, and we've gotten into doing things according to a system that has been taught to us, rather than the original system.
Okay.
Kind of like how the Israelites got into idolatry when they weren't supposed to be. In many, not just with the Babylon, in many instances.
See, okay, that makes sense. But then I'm thinking, well, no, because Europe better than us too.
Yeah, actually, like
Really
Europe has herbalist shops, like where it's like an apothecary, like it's a pharmacy but herbs, which is what I want.
Pharmacy, well, without
walk in, somebody is there making, like you tell them what the problem is, they assess you and stuff, and then they make what you need.
I don't know why I thought that shop that was right by your house, but that ain't it. That's just a vitamin and mineral shop. Yeah,
no, I want that. Like that's what I want. My when you talk about that, folks be listening, don't need to listen. But
I don't know about stealing no ideas.
It ain't even about that. Just the enemy be lurking.
And he do.
But yeah, like when we think about that, we think about the processed food. Like I've been watching so many documentaries on processed foods and how they. Do you know, like, there is a chemical used in certain processed foods that we feed to our children as early as toddler age that contributes to them developing signs of autism. It's an herbicide that's used.
What foods?
Doritos, Cheerios.
Not Doritos.
I'm
hurt. Oh, I'm hurt.
Because it's used as a drying agent.
It is. Yeah, I'm hurt now.
It's used to dry.
Cheerios.
Listen, I worked at a daycare. Do you know how much them children ate Cheerios dog near every day?
Honey Nut. Or was it regular?
It's bold. It's the brand.
I know, man. You heard
every cereal brand. Fruit Loops.
Boy,
you knew this stuff wasn't good for you.
Damn, man, listen.
And more, like, I was raised in a household where my folk cooked. So I didn't have a whole lot of access to cereals like that.
I didn't have a lot of access to sugary cereal.
Yeah, I didn't either. Like, and I hated that as a child because I would see the Lucky Charms, like, oh, I want some Lucky Charms.
First of all, Lucky Charms is not a good example.
It's really not, but none of them are good examples. But
no, like, Lucky Charms, it's just the marshmallow.
Exactly. And as a child, I'm thinking it's the best thing in the world because they know to market this stuff to children. That's the problem.
Trix yogurt.
Tricks are for kids. Tricks are trick. Tricks are for kids.
I don't appreciate the disrespect. I don't care.
Look at it. The tricks are for kids.
I hear you. I'm listening. However, my stomach is disagreeing. I was just thinking, I was like, man, I wouldn't mind some sugary cereal. I ain't got none. I was just like, I got honey bunches of oats.
But if you think about it, like all of this, when you think about the foods and all of and the toxins in the air and everything, it's ultimately one way that Lucifer is trying to destroy God's people in the physical.
It's more than one way.
It is more than it does multiply out to be more than it becomes exponentially more than one way.
Because at that point, it getting ridiculous.
Listen,
ridiculous.
Do you know how many children were at that school had some type of behavioral disorder or intellectual disability of some sort? And then I looked at, I don't know if anybody else looked at, but I looked at how much dairy they were feeding those children, how much meat, how much sugary snacks, how much it's so much processed food to them children being served. And I'm just looking the whole time like, I hate that y'all don't know that this is the problem. And it's
I'm so hurt.
And it's also
I know this.
But it's a DHR funded program.
Well, that's
government funded program.
Well, government funds a lot of things ain't good.
Well, of course. I.e. healthcare.
Healthcare is a scam.
Me and my boss was talking about that today.
Healthcare is a scam. All this stuff. We have literally
I was
been
telling
getting
her.
scammed
I was
since
telling
birth.
her about how I sold insurance. She was like, "Insurance is a scam." I said, "You right."
Yeah. Like, bruh, after a while, you should be looking at stuff like, yeah, it's good. Why we paying this much in order to do anything?
Exactly.
So, and we just recycling money between the same hands in order to keep everybody paid. I just be like, man, look, all this is just, I don't know.
But you know the wildest thing that God revealed to me about all this? It's the physical manifestation of a generational curse. And how he revealed that to me is because we are able to alter our DNA through the foods that we eat. And in doing that, we can also pass those genes on to our children.
Oh, based on the type of foods that you eat, it already messed you up, and then
exactly
you end up passing it off genetically.
Exactly.
Okay, all right.
And so, if you say, "Well, this never ran in my family before,"
But
okay,
you was
but
eating
you
a certain
fed
type
yourself,
of food that altered you.
Yep, and now your child is mentally retarded, or is autistic, or showing signs of autism.
I love Doritos.
Or so.
You know what I'm saying? I bet you. I love Doritos. Was it red? It was red
Yes.
bag.
It's the blue bag, the red bag, the purple
The
bag.
blue bag
all
gone.
of
The
it.
blue bag gone. I don't care about the blue bag.
The green bag.
The red. That's all I care
Yes,
about.
it's the red.
Oh. So hurt, man. And in my mind, I'm like, my child might be slow. I love red Doritos.
That's one thing. Like, I pray to God my husband is health conscious.
I don't eat chips like that, but if I do,
we gonna have a problem. I don't mind teaching, but like, he need to be on board. Like, he need to get on board because he needs to understand how it affects our children. I want my husband to understand how a lot of things on many different levels affect those who come after us.
Man, let him have his yak and his chicken. I was playing. Don't listen to me.
I don't know who you talking about.
I ain't telling that man I'm just playing. Doritos. I'm sorry. I want some Doritos.
Listen,
now.
and I'm sharing this, and I'm sharing it because God tells us in His Word,
I don't even want to eat no more.
His people. God tells us His people die by a lack of knowledge.
And I want to not have a lack.
Oh well.
I want to have.
I don't want you to die.
I ain't say that. I said I want to have a lack of food now because I don't want to eat no more. Okay. I was hungry, none more. What you eating gonna have your child retarded? What?
Listen. Who would I be? Who would Yaya be if she didn't share wellness wisdom with you?
I already go through this.
Especially as my brother in Christ.
Yeah,
Who would I be?
I already hear this from my love. Now I gotta hear this from you. And I'm just like, I get it. I'm learning.
Put people in your life.
I didn't say I wasn't doing it. I'm just like, still, can I catch a break?
Nope.
Alright, like, I know all the stuff I ate was trash. I don't even eat like that no more. It still hurt though. I'm still in mourning. You told me I can't eat red Doritos. I'm in mourning. I might have had a funeral now. I'm in mourning.
What?
Matter of fact, is there a bag out here?
You can make your own. I can show you how to make your own Doritos. I told you.
I
told you I just learned how to make bread. I can show you how to make your own Doritos.
If make it and that thing bring it back. Forget how I'm gonna show make it. It better slap too. Cause if I can't make a Rotel substitute with these made up Doritos you talking about, I'm gonna be hurt.
Side note, do you know what the thing was called? So listen, I don't know if anybody else used to do this in school, nigga.
But it was already gone because of beef. I mean, you get something.
I don't know if y'all did this in elementary school, but I tried to do this. While driving today. So you know when you was like, maybe you lined up for something, and you wanted to be first in line or closer to the front because you knew if you was closer to the front you was gonna get picked first for something, but you couldn't get in line in time, and so somebody offers you
a spot,
but then be like, you gotta let me skip you later. Like once you get in this line, you gotta let me skip you. So they be like, all right, you can get in front of me, but you gotta let me skip you. So you closer to the line, but I'm still in front of you. I tried to do that while driving today.
You finna get hit.
And you know where I was? I was at that light by down Chocolate Road by Taco Bell.
Crazy.
I'm alive. Anyway,
I don't know how.
I thank God.
You talking about the light right there when
by
you
Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's, all that.
Oh no. You because
I was coming from the Y.
You shouldn't be.
No,
here.
No, it wasn't. I was coming from Hot Works, but
you shouldn't be here.
I thank God that I am.
Because boy, you should.
Because the devil thought he had me. Oh, but
you almost had yourself. What you talking about? Some stuff him, some stuff us. He just got grace to be like, all right, I'm gonna keep you alive, but that was stupid. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know now that was dumb. But here you go. I'm cover you because you can't cover yourself. Over here trying to play hot potato with your car. And
what is that called though? Like when you let somebody let you skip them, but then be like, you gotta. That we had a name for it.
I don't know.
If y'all know, let me know. DM me, DM the squad, let me know. DM, because I almost said, okay, we can Indian give her this, which one bad name for that, but also
first of all, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's a terrible phrase.
Why was that ever anyway?
But you don't want to know the racist
I don't
behind that.
I don't. But anyway, I shared all that with y'all because it's something that's just been on my mind, been on my heart, and also because I'm a firm believer that God gave us everything that we need, and I'm always gonna be a natural wellness enthusiast because of that, and I want to share that as much as possible, and also because I believe there is value in knowing what we are taking in and consuming spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So yeah, that's one thing that's been on my mind. Another thing is God has been speaking to me a lot about fruit and what it means to be fruitful.
I remember that.
But like really showing me because I wasn't like, God had to really be like, you ain't bearing much fruit. He would get you together like that sometimes.
He do.
And it was because, like I said, I was wasting the time. Like when I was working at the preschool, I was complaining about how I didn't have time to be creative and do things. I felt drained. Mm-hmm. And God is like, okay, you got this. You got these 2 jobs, but you're not drained because you're not doing a whole lot there.
Nope. And
you have time. So I've given you time and energy. I mean, I cut your pay, but I've given you time and energy. You're wasting it. And that's what my fast has been, to like really make use of what he's given me. Mm-hmm. Because he really was like, you're finna not have nothing.
Wow. Yeah, he'll do that too.
And so he just kept and how he told me that was what is it, John 15? When I sent you that, what he told me about that, but he was also getting me together at the same time. John 15 about the vine and the branches. Mm-hmm. He was like, I prune to discipline you, but I can cut some off too. I prune to pull back so that I can discipline you, but you can get cut off if you're not gonna bear no fruit.
I know I did that a bunch of times in my life.
So I was like, all right, Jesus, you right, I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
See, as somebody who has constantly been cut off a bunch of times for being hard-headed in life, it ain't fun.
I know.
I'm warning you now. Do what he tell you to do, because ain't nothing worse than feel like you just wandering.
I know.
Because, boy, it be them days where I just be like, man, what am I doing? But then I think about it, I be like, so how much of this is because of what I did do?
Facts.
And I'd be like, okay, all right, I'm in timeout.
Yep.
I'm in.
But then also what he revealed to me about it was, because I know last week we were talking about being a lukewarm Christian. And what that means. And what that means is really you're just not bearing the fruit that God intends for you to bear.
Yeah.
And so what does that mean? That means you're not bearing the fruits of the Spirit. You're not being loving. You're not being patient. You're not being kind. You're not being gentle. You're not having self-control. You're not being good, because goodness is one of them. You're not being good. What does it mean to be good? Go to Colossians 3:12, and it talks about how you should handle people, how you should interact with other people, and also take that out of the context of other people and look at yourself. And then he's also revealed to me through that what it means to be the church. And he did that by revealing, by leading me to Proverbs 31 and what it means to be the Proverbs 31 woman or Proverbs 31 wife. But also understand that we are the bride of the church, not of the church. We're the bride of Jesus, and as the bride or the wife of Jesus, we are supposed to move like the Proverbs 31 wife as well. We're supposed to know that our beauty is within us.
Can't be looking at something.
Okay.
Go ahead, but I was looking.
We're supposed to know that our beauty is within. Are you trying to look up like what the husband version of that is?
It's Ephesians something.
Yeah, it is. It is. But yeah, it's the Proverbs 31 woman, and that's why God's word says, like, if you get married, your husband's supposed to love you like Jesus loved the church.
Ephesians 5, man, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because there is a way that Jesus loves the church. That we're not gonna get into that. That ain't for this episode. That's a whole other thing. But yeah, how we're supposed to be as the church. Look at Proverbs 31, and look at Galatians 5, and look at Colossians 3:12, or Colossians 3.
Colossians 3, a whole Colossians 3.
Yeah.
Oof.
And no, that's something else. So yeah, that, and then also God has really been revealing to me the value of meeting people where they are.
Trying to tell people, because
like, yeah, I got it, like, it's logic, but it took a minute for it to like really sink in, because God had to reveal that to me too, like during my fast. Like, you ain't meeting people. Like, I get where you're going. Like, I want you to do this, but I need you to understand that you have to meet people where they are, just like I did. You have to meet people where they are, just like Jay met you where you were. You have to meet people where they are, just like your mama met you in the best way she could. She met you where you were. And you have to do that in health and wellness. You can't just force a diet onto nobody.
Nope.
You have to meet them where they are and help them, and make use of what they have at that time, and build on that. And in showing people to Christ, you have to do the same. And like I said, mentally I knew that, logically I knew that, but I wasn't practicing it. And that's my fault, and I want to apologize for that. I've already apologized to God about it, but like, to the people who may have been offended by something that I've said or been hurt, like, I'm sorry for that, because I'm human. I'm still growing. I'm still figuring this thing out. And especially, I'm only a year and a half in, maybe, so I'm really not gonna have it all together. But I'm trying, and my purpose in trying is to really let you know that you don't have to be where you are. Because God showed me that I didn't have to be where I was. And letting you know you don't have to drink just because, or drink excessively just because it numbs your pain and it stops you from, or it makes you feel like,
a lot of things.
It makes you feel like you have to, it makes you feel like you can stop thinking about the world for a while, or thinking about that hole that's inside of you. You don't have to be in a relationship all the time because it stops you from thinking about the loneliness, even though it really doesn't. You don't have to have sex with all these people all the time because it does the same, you think it does the same thing. It stops you from thinking about the loneliness, or it makes you feel worthy. You don't,
because you're good at something.
Because you're good at something. You don't have to do these things. And that's what God is telling us about sin. Even He's saying, I want you to turn away from these things, because I want you to know that you don't have to do these things. I didn't even create you to do these things.
Mm-mm.
I created you to have sex, sure, but in the confines of marriage, I created you to have sex with one person who I have designed for you, who knows you, who I have I've entrusted with your heart, and I have entrusted you with theirs.
Exactly.
And yeah, we can drink and be merry. Jesus drunk wine, but it's not for us to overindulge in that, because it causes demons to latch on. 2, it makes us more susceptible to give in to sin. That's why the word tells us to be sober-minded. Because when we're not sober-minded, in a way, it does mean like the true self comes out, because the flesh, the physical is what comes out. The physical urges and the physical desires comes out, but we are not this flesh. This flesh is a tool.
And sometimes we use that as an excuse too. Like we be using
meet people where they are as an excuse. Like I'm not perfect yet. Meet me where I'm at. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm trying to get y'all to think about. Like, no, I don't want y'all to use that as an excuse, because it's not. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be grace and understanding and love and kindness and gentleness. Those fruits of the Spirit. It's not at all meant to be, because Jesus is not your get out of jail free card. God's grace is not your get out of jail free card.
And you know what just popped up in my head as soon as you said that they pray, Lord, if you get me out of this, I'll never do it again.
Right.
Lord,
you said that last time.
Lord, if you just get me out of this one real quick, I'll never do this ever again. I'll never go do so and so. I'll never go bust down. Woo.
Not bust down.
Yeah, man. I'll never go drink to do this no more. I'll stop smoking, Lord, if you get me out of it. Lord, if you just do this, just get me out of this one, I'll never do it again. God be sitting there like, boy, you know how many times you said that since you was turned to 14?
14. Ooh.
You 52.
11.
You 52 now. Like, bruh, you know how many Lord, if you just get me out of Lord, if she don't come back pregnant, I hope.
Ooh.
Come on now.
Lord, if I don't come back pregnant, I'm never. Lies. All the lies. But all that to say, grace is not a get out of jail free card, but I do believe that as followers of Christ, if we're going to be revealing Christ to other people, sharing Christ with other people, helping people understand who Christ is and who he is to those people, we have to be willing to meet people where they are, and not let our passion get the better of us.
Right. Because
sometimes, I know for myself, my passion can come off very angry and very boisterous.
So, I mean, I can sound like I ain't serious. Because I come off blunt and very nonchalant. I'll be like, oh, that's you. I'll be like, oh, you don't believe in God? Oh, what's wrong with you?
Wow.
Like, I used to be like, because you know sometimes when you would point stuff out to me, I'd be like, oh, well, that's just da-da-da-da, and I just walk off.
Yes. Like with that bird that I saw, you was like, oh, God. I'm like,
all right.
What?
And I think and at the time, because I was still like heavily drinking and smoking, I think I just went a little black and was like, all right, oh yeah, that's God. And went on about my business. Because I was just like, you know, if you don't get it, I mean, I want to tell you. I'm going to tell you a little bit. You listen to me or not, but I don't know.
But even that, be okay with that. We talked about that in Bible study. Like, everybody has their own journey. And so it may be clear to us, like, yeah, this is what that is.
I was out there, boy.
It may be clear to us, like, this is what that is.
Yeah.
And then to them, they be like,
that don't make sense.
That don't make sense.
All right,
yes, it do. Yeah, but no, it don't.
Yeah, it do. You just don't want to hear me right now. You want to break this down? Give me a second. Lie said it wasn't me.
It was.
I'll be like, oh, you don't understand? Give me a minute.
Let's
discuss.
Nah, that and no, you be like, all right. So think about this in the form of a video game
or whatever example I come up with that day.
And then what started getting me was when you showed me my hero, and I was like, okay, so he's trying to get the power from All Might. Bet. Okay.
Boy, the ways I use other things to explain God, boy, I do it still to this day. I think I broke down a whole sermon with Tekken. What was fighting games?
Did. Yes.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about my Star Wars sermon that I was wanting to do.
Go on, give it real quick.
Oh yeah, darkness rises and light to meet it. Yeah. But
wow,
I was on it. I got a whole one. Boy, my Lion King sermon I did one day at the house. I don't know if you was there that day.
Well, I can see that one.
I broke that one down, but I went left with it though. I was like, listen, y'all think I'm just gonna talk about Mufasa and Scar? I'm on Timon and Pumbaa. Right? We're gonna talk.
What?
Listen, who they was following? A king, and he ain't know it. He had to go breathe life into
wow.
him. You see, we ain't going there though.
What? That's
Look,
David.
Alright. Ain't David whole crew had to follow him
Or
even when he was in the cave?
No,
when Saul was hunting him, he was like,
David. That's David. Who else is that? Joseph.
Yep.
Who else is that?
Jesus.
Yes, Jesus. Definitely Jesus.
Tell him. I got him in the bank, ready.
Not Solomon. No, Elijah and Elisha.
Yep. See, yup. Wow. Yeah, I got him. All I do is think about Bible. And how can I explain to somebody that ain't never read the Bible? You watch so and so, bet. Let's talk. I can pull them out, babe. Disney, I got you. Romantic comedies, let's do it. Anime, boom. Video games, boom. I meet you where you at. R&B love song, let's do it. Put Jesus on the end of a line, ain't nothing but gospel.
Yes.
Unless it's too far, and then it's vulgar. We won't do that. But what was it? I remember it was a whole skit off that. Was it Medea? They were talking about that?
Yes, it was.
Father? Yeah, what it was? I'm telling you. Man, all I got is examples.
Been running from your love.
Jesus. Telling you, I got him. God done showed me because he made me a teacher. If you don't understand something, I'm going to be like, all right, give me a second. What you like? Okay, let's connect. Boom. Here you go. Boom. What you think? You'll be like, oh my God. I'll be like, yeah. Chilling. And for me, it's effortless. I'll go to sleep.
Yes, you
Oh, like, you got it? Cool. Go and take a nap. I did it at the house so many times. You would be like, I'm confused about this.
Just sowing seeds.
And go and walk off.
Just sowing seeds. That's why God had me at your house for 2 months.
Forget sowing seeds. I'm just throwing them out there. Here you go.
Sowing seeds the whole time. They wasn't landing on fertile ground like that at first.
It don't matter. I still throw them boys out there.
He had to till the soil.
He had to. I just throwing the boys out there. Oh, you confused about this? Boop. Going back to sleep now. Oh, you confused about this? Boop.
Going back to sleep now. And I told you today about my lighthouse dream. And how,
I remember that.
Like, I had a dream, y'all, about a lighthouse. And God has, like, that was 2 years ago. God has, like, aligned me with why that was in the dream.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. And that was around the time where Jay was sowing them seeds, and I was going through a lot of things.
It was.
There was so much going on.
I'm telling you. God used to give me so much now. I'd be like, what you want me to do with this? Oh, connect this? I bet. God said, do with that as you will. I remember I even said that, do with that as you will. I'm out. I'm gonna go. You want chicken? Oh, yeah, you vegan. My bad. You want some bread? Is all I got. I got some potatoes. What I used to have, I think that you could, I had canned vegetables, and you would be like, you would make something out of it.
Yes, I would.
Whatever I had.
Or I would run home to my apartment real quick and get what I had.
And bring it all over and cook on the stove. My roommates come down.
Don't worry about it.
That was like, no, that's how we actually, you was at 805 and did that one time.
I did. I brought
a whole pot.
We were living in the same apartment complex, y'all, and I brought all my stuff.
Girl bought pots.
I brought my skillet and some food to cook. I don't remember what I cooked. But
I walked in the house and I was like, what?
And I knew they always left the door open, so I knew the door was open.
That was not me. I went on
I
that.
knew a person always left that door unlocked.
And I was always the one to lock it. And I went home. I came in, door was open.
I was sitting on the couch eating my food.
Whole plate. Like she pay rent. I was like, is that that ain't our skillet. What? You invited. I'm going upstairs. Whatever. God loves you whenever you figure it out.
Yeah, at that time, I really wasn't trying to hear it.
Nope, and I ain't say it either. Boy.
Oh, wow.
Stories.
Anything else that's been on your heart today?
Or
this week or in general?
Just direct stuff. Like, hey, man. I have learned that we are spiritually slow sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
And when you are spiritually slow and you know it, pray to God for exact things with indicators.
Yeah.
At least for me, how I knew a bunch of things recently in the last couple of years I was supposed to do is when I prayed so direct and asked God for an indicator. That was the only way I knew it was Him. Like, the only way. Like, I would be praying stuff and I'd be like, all right, God, I'm praying for this. Mm-hmm. But in order for me to know that do you want me to do this, you're going to have to do X, Y, and Z. Because I'm slow.
Listen, my prayers be like that too. Like, no, it's a TikTok about that. It's a sound and it's like, please make it clear, God. Kind of an idiot.
Real talk. Like I'm smart.
But I'm slow.
But I'm stupid. Like, your boy ignorant. Like, I be like, God, I just be out here. You know what? Alright, God, in order for me to know this you, I need you to do this, this, and this. If I see all three of these things right here, I know it's you. I'm moving that direction.
Right.
Next thing I know, boom, 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 boom. Alright. I'm going that way. Well, how did you know how to do this and this? Because I was very direct. And because I'm slow.
Yeah, like even now, like I know
you can be worldly intelligent and spiritually slow.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
a lot of people
shirt.
are.
That's a shirt. That's a shirt.
A lot of people, just like you can be spiritually intelligent and know no earthly good. Like, yeah, but a lot of people are worldly intelligent, but they rely so heavily on their intellect that they don't know nothing spiritually. Man. And they just out here falling and don't know why, don't know what's going on.
And the messed up part, I feel like sometimes spiritual sense is common sense. And common sense ain't common.
Yeah.
So folks is out here looking slow.
Yeah. Like,
you know how many folks we had at school that had a whole lot of book sense, but they ain't had nothing else?
Yeah. And I like, even me coming to Christ, like a lot of what I'm learning is like, that makes so much sense.
Man, why was I thinking opposite?
Exactly.
And you be sitting there like, I was really dumb.
But even yesterday, like I said, when God started revealing all that stuff to me, I was like, I should have been doing this.
Right. And that's the thing.
What's the problem?
The more I've been getting back into my prayer, the more I'm just like, even today, I'm going to pray tonight. And after everything over with, I'm finna be like so direct with God. I'm like, all right, Lord, this is what I got going on. Mm-hmm. You want me to be patient? You need to show me something so I won't go do nothing stupid. Because you know me. I'm hard-headed.
Yeah.
You've been whooping me so long because I'm hard-headed. So can we work together in tandem so I can understand what you need me to do? Yeah. Because I done moved too much without you because I was impatient or I was stupid. Or the both. And that's just me being transparent. I was so smart, I was dumb.
Like, even God leading me, like even me fasting is because God led me to fast, because He was like, you wasting time. Yeah. You need to fast from these things because they're taking up your time. Mm-hmm. And like, soon as I did that like really Him telling me to do that was Him saying if I'm gonna be obedient so that He could put me in position to align me with what it is that He has for me. Exactly. And as soon as I did, just align, just everything, and it just all made sense. And I was like, that should have been. Why was I? Mm-hmm. What?
Tripping, wilding, looking stupid, wasting time, not doing nothing important.
What you say? Trash, garbage.
I'm saying.
Anything else before we end?
That's what I'm on this week. I'm gonna try to do a series of prayers before the next recording. Okay. And I'm gonna see what happens before the next recording. And see if anything happens. I'm just for the next I say I'm gonna take 3 days at least, and I'm just gonna pray so direct with indicators that I just want to see what's not no is a genie in a bottle.
Yeah,
not doing
no.
That. I'm just like, all right, God. I see what I'm supposed. I think I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Is this where I'm supposed to be? Give me X, Y, and Z so I know.
Yeah.
Or am I supposed to be doing this? Give me X, Y, and Z so I know.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't even need X, Y, and Z. Give me X. I'm slow. You didn't even give me all three. I can pick up one.
And real quick, just to close, that genie in the bottle thing made me think about something. God also revealed to me. A lot of people think of him as a genie in the bottle. That's the problem with it. Because they like to.
I'm a pray, and that is my wish.
Yeah, and a lot of people like to say, make fun of Christians and say, "Oh, your sky daddy gonna do it for you," and as if because it's just because we've been conditioned to believe ask and you shall receive. If it's the caveat is if it's in alignment with God's will, because a lot of stuff that we want ain't what we need, and it's not in alignment with God and with what He has for us.
And we be praying for stuff and be like, "Why ain't nothing happened yet?" Because that ain't what He wanted for you.
Exactly, and a lot of people have fallen away from God because He did not do what they wanted Him to do. And that's not how life gonna work, Chief. I'm sorry, that's not how it is. He's not here. He's here for you, but really. You here for him and his will. So that's all.
Yeah.
That's all we got for you this week.
Because we went crazy a little quick.
Yeah.
We had some things. But we coming back whenever that is. We're going to be back in the studio like we ain't never left. Whenever that is. God told us not to. For
Facts,
right now.
He did.
Just 2 times a month.
2 times a month. So that's all we got for y'all this week. Make sure you comment, share, review. Please share it.
Hey, have conversation.
Really share Christ and really just have these conversations yourself. We want this to be basically a kickback for Christ. So,
but no K for Christ.
No K for Christ. No K for Christ.
I was like, yeah.
So that's all. Peace.
Yeah.